now while HIV has become a manageable disease, there's still that stigma and that shame that was associated when HIV was first introduced. Homosexual, drug addicts, and these kind of things. So this kind of behavior associated with the disease, and the stigma and the shame and the guilt associated around being HIV infected is preventing people from going to take the HIV test. But we must realize that not taking the test does not change the fact if a person is HIV infected.
It doesn't change the status.
Right. It doesn't change the status at all. And my suggestion is everybody has an HIV status. The question is, do you know yours? And you should know yours. Because again, early detection and early treatment is the key to a successful, manageable disease. Not successful, let me say manageable disease. So that's the bottom line.
You know, one of the things that we've seen, and I think you see it quite often, is dealing with body piercing. And why don't you say something about that? Because I think a large number of young people have become involved in this without even understanding or knowing the impact that this could have.
Well, when I said one of the modes of transmission was blood to blood, and that most occurs by sharing needles. And sharing needles, we need to say any type of needles. Now, with the advent of tattoos, body piercing, and all of that, you have to understand that long as those needles are not being shared by someone with HIV, then it's okay. But if you're going to get a tattoo, if you're going to have body piercing, just get it done by a reputable, licensed person. And make sure that they are using clean, sterile, and new needles. And you'll be okay. It's that a lot of times people go to the neighborhood person to get that tattoo. Tattoo Sean, tattoo Wayne, tattoo whoever.
All right.
Tattoo James Haney. You see what I'm saying? And those type things also have a risk for transmitting HIV, sharing needles.
And so that's the real problem.
Yeah. Well, we're not seeing a lot of that, a lot of people becoming infected that way, but we want people to know that that is a potential risk. So, you know, that's where that goes.
Well, now, over the next 3 minutes that we have here, Ms. Crowder, what about the research and the attempts to, have we simply given up on trying to find some kind of vaccine or whatever? Yeah. Well, is that just?
Let me tell you where we are with that. Number one, the United States is still, as we speak, over the last 10 to 12 years, there have been somewhere around 40 to 50,000 new HIV infections in the United States every year. One reason that is because the United States does not have a national HIV prevention strategy. We require that of every other country that we give money to, you know, for the National AIDS Fund, or if we give other countries like Africa or anybody fund their AIDS, we require that they have a national HIV prevention strategy, but we don't have one.
Well, why don't we have one, Ms. Crowder?
And that's a question for CDC. And again, we are advocating as we speak for that. We're advocating as we speak. I am a part of a national advocacy group called Campaign End AIDS. We make sure that it's on all of the presidential candidates platform. We go. I was in what was the last debate? Was it South Carolina? No, it wasn't South.
Pennsylvania?
No, the one before that. But anyway, so but the next one is in Oxford, Mississippi.
Okay.
So we'll be caravan. We travel from all over the country. Caravans of us go down to these debates
to make sure that
that HIV prevention and AIDS is on the presidential platform and agenda.
Okay.
So we do that, and it's a national advocacy group. And again, we have advocates from all over the country that will convene.
But you just over the last minute, but you just don't have a national plan, and it would be up to the United States, and it would be up to the CDC to develop such a plan, and nobody's doing anything in that direction in reference to a plan.
Absolutely.
Is that what we're saying?
Yes,
and
exactly.
that we cannot fight this disease without some kind of national plan coming out of some kind of nationally recognized medical organization such as the CDC. And you would suggest that perhaps all presidential candidates and all individuals who are concerned with this disease ought to think in terms of having this national plan.
Absolutely. Not just the president, every human being should think about this whole thing.
Very good. And of course, Mr. Crowder, let me thank you again for bringing by that excellent information in reference to this disease. And let me encourage our audience to tune in again next week for another informative edition of Comments. Thank you and good morning.